Alright, so it's been a couple days, and you can see the second, this is not the second set, this is the second set. It's dried. Cracking's not really a big deal. It's essentially watercolors. But you can see this is here's the second set along with the 4 or 5 colors here. The white absorbed a lot of that pigment, so I might have to screen. I'm not gonna probably use white for this, but yeah, so I have the full set out, and I am going to go ahead and do a painting with them, and we'll see how this goes. Dry for this part of the tutorial. It looks like kind of like a vase. She used to cut out, which I didn't do. I used up all of this color, so I'm gonna have to mix more of this color. I'm not gonna need it for this project, but used it up pretty quick. These re-wet really well. I really was able to get things clean. The white even cleaned itself up a bit, which is good. But they're really rich in color and really easy to mix, and I actually really kind of like that. So add some to up here. Don't want to get too much more water on this because this part really does need to dry. So she goes in and does a bunch of touch-up and lightning and things with gouache, which she didn't do on camera. But I think she's mostly wanting to tell this technique. She's going to lay down feathers and maybe some, I'm not really sure, and then probably paint over them and kind of do this negative painting effect. I don't have any feathers, so, and I don't really have anything I can do this with. He is blind, but I do want to use up some of these paints here, so I'm just looking to see what I have. White, make sure you, so for kind of light touch-ups, make sure you're using like titanium white or some kind of permanent white. The it should be PW6 of some type. Anything else, any other kind of mix or other like PW4 stuff, they're going to be a lot less coverage. So like whites for mixing versus whites for coverage, which most sets, and it's a lot easier to get PW6 titanium white, but some sets will come. I don't have too many sets that came with a zinc white. But instead of using the Gouache that's here, because it mixes really well. I actually really like how well it doesn't lighten, but kind of enriches the color. But I'm going to use some gouache here too. Well, that did something. True. Not what I intended. I mean, obviously, I mean, she kind of like glued hers and stuff. It's okay. It's watercolor. It can be gone side, but still. Sumiya Boshi. I think part of it is just too wet. So lift. And we're not going to give up because I wonder if I should do the other side of the leaf since there's more. Or should I try this side again? I'm going to do the other side of the leaf. I'm going to try it again on the other side of the leaf and see if that makes a difference. I have mispronounced
these
it. And
pigments, these Kissho pigments are Sui and Go, and I'm probably pronouncing that badly, but it's closer at least. So these were traditionally used for like an underpainting. So Gansai is kind of, until recently, was mostly for kind of like practice. This is the underpainting, and then Iwa Inogu, which is the precious stone materials that you have to grind yourself, and you can't get. They're even way more expensive than these, and these are pretty expensive. But grind them yourself, use them for binder yourself, mix them into paint yourself, and they're used for the over painting traditionally. But what are my final thoughts? These are amazing. Totally worth it if you're a fan of Gansai and this medium, and you really want to look at other ways to use it, and you have the cash to spare. Again, these are pretty expensive. Then yeah, this might be something that you look into. Honestly, I really love these. I now have kind of a refilling palette that I can go and hit up for some really brilliant colors. I mean, just really brilliant. And I really hope that you enjoyed this. I will put a link below to where I bought these if you're interested. And as well as some other information. I wish that Sadie Saves the Day's blog post on this, where I first learned about these things, was still up. I have it saved, so I'll probably quote some stuff and hopefully do a blog post here if I can get my act together on it as well, because this was really enjoyable. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy.
Rush every time.